Hi, this is Scott Rogers with Funkhauser Real Estate Group with an update to the Harrisonburg and Rockingham County real estate market. I'm taking a look now at residential real estate activity through June 30th, 2017. The first half of 2017 has passed, and when we compare it to the first half of 2016, we see that there has been about a 1% increase in the amount of sales. So last year was a very strong year of sales, and we've seen a 1% increase over that in 2017. So for now, we'll just call that a wash. And there have been about the same number of home sales during the first half of this year as compared to last year. Prices have also been very stable over the past year. There's actually only been a 0.16% increase in the median price of homes that have sold in Harrisonburg and Rockingham County in the first half of this year as compared to the first half of last year. So the biggest difference then is the speed at which these sales are taking place. There's been a 38% decline in the median days on market, which is a calculation of how many days it takes for a property to go under contract once it has been listed for sale. Last year, during the first half of the year, it took 53 days, and that's the median, so half of the homes were going under contract earlier than 53 days and half after 53 days. And this year that has declined to only 33 days. So homes are selling more quickly, but about the same number as last year and at about the same prices as last year. In some ways, at the beginning of the year, I was predicting that we would see a decline in home sales this year, and that's because of the changes in inventory levels. So far, we have not seen that take place. When we look at the city as opposed to the county, there has been an 11% increase in city home sales when looking at a 12-month period, and a 9% increase in county home sales. So both the city and the county are doing well in that regard. May and June were an interesting story. So there was actually a decline in June of 2017 as compared to June of 2016. But when we factor in May as well, it was again pretty much a wash. So last year, June was quite strong and May was not as strong. This year, May was very strong and June was not as strong. So despite a decline in June home sales this year, not a big picture concern overall. When we look at the overall increases in the pace of home sales in this area, 3 years ago we were seeing about 1,000 homes selling in a year, and that has now ramped up to 1,320 per year. So steady increases over the past 3 years as far as the number of homes selling in Harrisonburg and Rockingham County each year. Prices have also increased over the past 3 years quite a bit. 175,000 is where we were as a median sales price 3 years ago, and we're now at 193,000. So that's an increase. I would say that's not a drastic increase. That's not the types of increases we were seeing back when we had a bubble and when prices were going up by double digits per year for several years in a row. So I would say some healthy increases in the median sales price in this area. If we then take a look at whether this is a seller's market or a buyer's market, for quite a while, really up until 2014, this was a strong buyer's market. There were many more homes for sale than there were buyers to buy them. Those two trajectories crossed, or we met a 6-month supply threshold when we got to the middle of 2016. So about a year ago, we got to the point where there were 6 months of homes on the market as compared to the number of buyers that were buying in an average 6-month period. Those lines have now crossed significantly, and so we actually see many more buyers buying than there are sellers selling. So inventory levels have dropped quite a bit and buying activity has increased, which has resulted in that change. When we look at the new construction market in this area, mainly looking at the single-family home market, we did finally see an uptick in the number of new single-family homes that were selling last year. So an increase from 54 homes sold, new homes sold in 2015 up to 82 new homes that sold in 2016. Thus far in 2017, we're not actually seeing that same number of homes selling. There have only been 35 closings of new single-family homes per the MLS. So there are certainly some sales that are happening outside of the MLS that are not included in these figures. Contract activity was strong again in June, so 132 contracts were signed. That's as compared to 133 the previous month. So the past 4 months have been March, April, May, and June have been very strong months of buyer activity. I would expect to see that continue through July and into August. Typically when we get to September and October is when we start to see a decline in the number of buyers that are signing contracts each month. Looking a little bit closer at inventory levels, again, one of the main storylines we've seen play out in our local residential real estate market over the past few years has been the decline in the number of homes that are listed for sale and the number of options that buyers have when they're looking to purchase a home. 2 years ago, there were 653 homes for sale in Harrisonburg and Rockingham County at this time of year. That 653 dropped to 568 a year ago, so a moderate decline. But then over the past year, the number of homes for sale in this area has declined from 568 homes down to 393 homes. So a significant increase. That's a 31% decrease. A 31% decrease in the number of homes that are for sale in this area, which gives buyers significantly fewer options as they're looking for homes to purchase. And the other thing that's interesting, typically in the spring market, we see the inventory numbers start to balloon. So more and more people are putting their houses on the market, and we start to see a rise in inventory levels. Right now, we're actually seeing, with 393 homes for sale, that's where we've been for about 5 months. So even as we were in February, we were seeing about the same number of homes for sale as we're seeing now. So the typical sellers want to put their houses on the market in the spring has happened, but buying activity has kept pace with that, and we have not seen the usual net seasonal increase in inventory levels that we often see in this area. And so I don't really hold out too much hope that we're going to see that as we continue through the year. We're likely to continue to be at these low inventory levels, which makes it challenging as a buyer, depending on the price range you're looking for in the area that you want to live in. That has changed. Those declines in inventory levels have been a little bit different based on property type and location. The one I'll mention here is attached versus detached housing. So detached housing would be single family homes. Attached housing would encompass duplexes, condos, and townhouses. And that one, the attached housing, is where we've seen the most significant drop. So there's been a 51% decline in the number of townhouses, condos, and duplexes that are on the market. So 1 year ago, there would have been 139 choices of homes such as those to purchase, and now there are only 68 homes for sale. So that's a significant change. That's also affecting the lower price ranges, which is a bit of a challenge for first-time buyers. So one of the things that we'll be monitoring most closely as we go through the year. You can find a variety of additional market analysis on my full market report, which you can access at harrisonburghousingmarket.com. You can also check out my blog at harrisonburghousingtoday.com, where I have daily commentary on things happening on our local real estate market. Until next month, feel free to reach out to me by email or phone if I can be of help to you if you're thinking about buying or selling a home here in the near future. Thanks so much.